Hacking. Hacking is the gaining of unauthorized access to data in a system or computer. They do this by looking for a weakness in a computer/network. They then use that weakness to block access to regular users to download information or get access to more computers in the network. Hacking is becoming more of a problem in our society, and the cause is technology. It has become so powerful beyond our control, and the one thing that allows these attacks to succeed. During this documentary, you'll be told about the types of hackers and examples of what they do, important facts and figures, and the shocking truth about the impact hacking has on the national grid. There are 3 different types of hackers, and they are white, black, and grey hat hackers. Black hat hackers are people who hack for bad intentions. Grey hat hackers are people in between good and bad.
I don't have to take my mask off. I'm here peacefully with everyone else.
Lastly, white hat hackers are people who hack for good intentions.
Tommy's among just 6 people who've earned more than $1 million.
An example of a white hat hacker is an 18-year-old teenager called David Dworkin. During his school classes, David spent 10 to 15 hours hacking websites from the US Department based in the Pentagon in Washington. However, instead of ending up being in trouble or given a charge or sentence, he was thanked by the Secretary of State because he was part of a competition involving people hacking the Pentagon in order to find bugs in the system. 1,400 hackers took part in it, but only 138 found problems in the system. David found and reported 6 bugs in the system, but he received no award because they were already reported. He finished secondary school and ended up being approached by recruiters on getting potential internships. I think that what David did was a good thing because it proves that not all hackers are bad and that they can be used for good intentions. An example of a grey hat hacker is 2 teenagers called Cameron and Jack. One early morning, 5 police squad cars, a tech team and a riot van were sent to Jack's house. 10 officers then went into Jack's room and arrested him. When Cameron was making his way to school, he was arrested by 6 officers. Jack was 19 when he was arrested. The reason why is because he stole personal data from 1,000 people when he was 16. Cameron was arrested because he made changes to code on video games, which led him onto online forums and then dark parts of the internet. Cameron was 14 when he was arrested. Instead of being sentenced or charged, they were both given a second chance and ended up working for a tech company called Bluescreen in Plymouth. I think that the fact that they both got a second chance is unbelievable because of what they did. I also find it odd that neither of them thought that what they were doing was wrong or felt guilty about it. An example of black hat hackers are the Russian hackers of the US 2016 elections. During the time of the US election between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, the Democratic National Committee and other political organisations that were part of the Democratic Party were hacked. Thousands of emails were stolen, which had a bad effect on the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton. In October 2016, the US government announced that they were confident that it was Russia who hacked them.
When any foreign government tries to impact the integrity of our elections, that we need to take action, and we will, at a time and place of our own choosing.
Russian President Vladimir Putin had a major hand in the cyber attacks.
Then in early December 2016, the CIA found out that Russia's intention was to help Trump win the election. I think the fact that Trump was still allowed to be president, even though Russia helped him, is wrong and unfair. He shouldn't have been allowed, and the elections should have been done again to offer a fair chance for both Trump and Clinton. While researching into this topic, I found some facts and figures, like how there is a hacker attack every 39 seconds, or that some cybercrimes are inside jobs, as 59% of employees steal data when they quit or get fired. Also, the type of phone that is most vulnerable to be hacked is Android. And cybercrime now accounts for more than 50% of all crimes in the UK. Just from those facts, you get more of an idea of how big of a deal hacking is in society. At the start of the documentary, I mentioned that technology has become something that we rely on. However, how often do you think about what would happen if technology stopped working and it resulted with us having nothing to rely on? The national grid fits into this because it's what manages the network and distributes all the gas and electricity in businesses and homes. It has 6 potential threats known as black hazards. One of them is a cyber attack. If the national grid went down due to a cyber attack, the country would be 4 meals away from anarchy, meaning riots, chaos and disorder. To put it in perspective, it would result in the country being like the Stone Age again. What would it cause and how would it end? First, all the power would go. We would only have enough water for the first day or so. The government wouldn't be able to communicate to us if this situation occurred. Only those with battery-powered radios could listen. Since we wouldn't have phones, internet or TV, we wouldn't be told anything. We would have no drinking water or water to flush our toilets. Our hygiene would become badly affected. We would run out of initial fuel reserves and wouldn't be able to get any more from storage tanks without electricity. The consequence is lorries not getting deliveries and generators failing to run. We would have no money, no ATMs, no contactless or shops. Rioting and looting happens, breaking down order.
Gangs of masked criminals.
Some of us would still not know what is going on. This would doubt people's reliability on the government. Without any sanitation, cities would become uninhabitable in a number of days, and it would get worse. Evacuation might end up being necessary in some places, and there could be possible disease outbreaks. All of that just from one cyber attack. This is something that scares me a little bit because the idea of it happening makes me feel a bit anxious. I feel that way because it could happen at any time of any day.
Do you think
Even
once
now.
every 10 or 11 years is a reasonable